I just wrote an article for the Telegraph, which was the most devastating article I could write. I thought I was done for by writing it. I basically called for the jailing of the butchering surgeons who are doing gender reassignment surgery, so-called, on minors. And I called the American Psychological Association a pack of spineless, cowardly liars. And that's pretty cut and dried, I would say.
On the trans issue, because you have been vocal about it, you've written articles and tweeted, is there not a part of you that maybe is afraid that in 30 or 40 years it will be like having been against gay marriage or gay people, or yeah?
Absolutely, 100% not.
Oh. Do you think this time is different, or?
It's definitely different. Most of the kids who are being surgically mutilated would have grown up to be gay. And the gay community is starting to wake up to that. And so now if you're a 10-year-old boy and you're ambivalent, let's say, or 12-year-old boy or girl, and you're ambivalent about your identity and perhaps about your sexuality, we know the data suggested that a large proportion of kids with that the body dysmorphia, gender dysmorphia, would grow up gay. But most of them would settle into their body, like 85% of them or so who have gender dysphoria at the clinical level would settle into their body by the time they're 18. And now, well, a good number of them are slated for hormonal and surgical mutilation.
Do you not think that we as a culture should tolerate the changes, or do you think
no,
we should? No,
I think we should ban the conversion of minors to people of the opposite sex, so to speak, if they're under 18. And I think we should restore their ability to sue medical professionals who dare to intervene.
But adults, do you think they should?
Adults, that's a whole different story. You know, most people, if people want to go to hell in a handbasket in their own particular way, they have the right to do that. That's a different issue. But minors, especially minors, period, no. No, and the fact that we are even having this discussion just strikes me as preposterous. All sorts of Western countries have just moved to ban so-called conversion therapy, which wasn't a problem to begin with. There was a handful of fundamentalist, Christian mostly, therapists in the US who purported to offer services to aid homosexual individuals who perhaps wanted to go straight. And the gay community was upset about that. And now we have legislation banning conversion therapy. So you can't even, if you're a therapist, you can no longer really even question the identity claims of your clients. But you can convert kids surgically. So tell me how we can be having this conversation even. It's just beyond comprehension.
Yeah, I think people have very differing views. A lot of people just want to tolerate it and say this is fine.
Tolerate what? Tolerate what? Castration and double mastectomies for 13-year-olds?
Well, yeah,
no, seriously, man.
Yeah.
That's not tolerance. That's crossed the line. That is not tolerance. That is an inexcusable silence on the part of the majority, the vast majority, who knows this to be wrong in the deepest possible sense. Most of the bloody Nazi propaganda that led to the extermination policies at the beginning of World War II were predicated initially on compassion and tolerance. So this whole, we're being compassionate and tolerant, it's like, no you're not. You're aiding and abetting the surgical mutilation of minors. That is not compassionate, and it's not tolerant.